Hey everybody. So I'm going to do a little bit more bifacing here and see what happens. This is some Rainey buttes. Has some cracks here at the end. Might lose some more of this end before it's over. Well, grandkids are supposed to be over today. I got put some spaghetti sauce on this morning. It's in there to simmer all day. We're gonna have some spaghetti tonight. Play with the grandkids. That was kind of a tough piece to biface a little bit. I don't have a lot of experience with this Rainey buttes, but that just kind of kept wanting to crumble on me a little bit there. Yeah, this whole edge right here is just kind of crumbling away. All right, there's a biface. I guess I should throw these in a pile. We gotta film them when we're done here. I was going to do this in a rock to point challenge thing. It's a piece of ugly, very low grade Mookaite. I don't know if it'll hold together enough for a biface or not, but Let's find out. This stuff here is stuff that's just can't really do much with it. It's more or less garbage rock. It's hard to get a flake to get across this. This top material is the better material, although it sucks too, but just bust it out of there. That's probably going to be the case with this piece. It's not going to hold together on that seam. There's going to be enough. Not much left of it, but I'm chasing this little bit of good, or not, it's not even good, but a little bit of better rock right there. All right, we can see if we can get a point out of that sometime. Maybe. May come apart right there, it may not. Doggone it, supposed to be throwing these, supposed to be tossing these in this bucket. I got a ton of Rainey boots here sitting right on top. That's the other stuff in the bottom I wanted to, I was wanting to biface, but I went through all that Rainey buttes right on top of it. a very square piece. You can make a little arrowhead out of that. A lot of this stuff is really, really blocky, like this piece was. I got this thing so twisted, and I guess it was already twisted, but this thing started out that had a twist in it, and I never did get it out. It still has it. Although that's a little better. Alright, there's another biface. I like to biface something other than... There's a big old piece of Burlington. I thought that would just travel right on up it, but it didn't. It's got a bad spot in it. I may be able to get another little point out of this, though. There we go. Got that seam off there. Now this might not be... I don't really know yet. Yeah, I don't know. Been looking at this piece for a long time, but with this in there and this stuff along here, I don't think that's gonna might not amount to much. Got a crack coming across here. It's this whole thing right here. It's gonna come apart, be my guess. I don't believe that'll hold together, unfortunately. Yeah, that's pretty much junk. I actually think that might be a piece of, that might actually be a piece of white Mookaite. I think it is. This piece is probably going to result in some heartbreak. Would be my guess. The material is such crap that the pieces aren't even, the flakes aren't even good to save for arrowheads. I'm not familiar enough with I haven't worked enough of it. I mean, I've worked quite a bit of it, but not enough of it to be familiar with all the different grades. And you can see how that just, that ain't gonna stay together. Snap into the crack, and then that's it. Whatever that is right there is cortexy limestone or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that hasn't already come apart. I'd almost rather it just split apart now so I could try and manage. That was my biggest piece of Burlington too, so it kind of bums me out a little bit. But it was junk. Never know what you get into them, I guess. Yeah, just full of garbage. That's not a very good piece at all. grief. Yeah, you can't nap those spots. So all you can do is try and get rid of them. There we go. Yeah, finally let loose. Now this piece is so small I can't do anything with it. I'll do something with it, but that is a crying shame that how that big old piece. At this one crappy little piece. That may still not make a point. All that came out of it, but it happens that way. Can't always tell what a rock's going to do till you get into it. This rock was part of a trade I made. So most of the Burlington in there has been really super nice. Nicer than any Burlington I've bought. But this piece, the biggest piece, which bums me out, is pretty much junk. That'll still make a point, and it'll be pretty because it's got some color and stuff to it, but shit, that was a 5-6 pound rock, and that's what came out of it because the rest of it was just junk. So, it is what it is. I was out here making some arrowheads. I made one little desert side notch here. It's a pretty little point, very well. Only about 4 to 1 or something like that. I don't remember what it was. 5 to 1. It's a little bit thicker than I might have wanted it. And I started on a Thebes here, then blew the barb out. So when I was just about done, so. I'll show that one video with the obsidian probably, but I was also out of frame on the Thebes. I'm just kind of not in the groove for some reason today. I don't know if I mentioned in the other video or not, but I made me a new cap for you guys probably seen it in the one that I wore clear through it. Man, I made a new lead filled cap, and that's the first strikes with it. I just heated it up and used the same handle. I was gonna JB weld the cap on or something to that effect, but I didn't have any, so I just used that E6000. I don't know how that'll hold up, but if the top falls off it, then I know I need to put some JB Weld on it, or something to that effect. I figured it'd be better with some sort of two-part epoxy. So I did have some two-part epoxy, but honestly I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to mix the epoxy. I was being lazy. I was working in the leather shop a little bit and got my indirect orders out. I'm in the process of making more hand pads because they're available on the website, but I didn't have any more made up, I think. So I'm in the process of having them done later today. All right, there's another biface. Except for I'm bored with that, so hold on a minute. I hit the pause button. I don't know, there we go. We're back going again. Sorry guys, my monitor is way behind. I thought we had the internet thing sorted out, but I guess we don't. So that's a crack going into that thing. Yep, that was the crack. You guys see how blocky this stuff is. Would have been better to saw this piece in half, but as you know, my saw's not operating at the moment. I think this Rainey Buttes is pretty good beginner rock. Flakes real easy. All right, there's another biface. There's another piece of Burlington, which looks like it was already put in part of a biface at one time. I don't believe it might not have been by me though. I'm not sure. Could have been. Look at that. That's pretty stiff right there. If I can get this top ugly off. All right. Could try and run a thinning flake right up the tip. Just didn't run. Won't run past this stuff. There we go. Can I remove the big old fat turtleback? I could if it was flake. She got one, at least part of it. That opens us up to come back across right here. Raleigh's over there saying, "Somebody feed me." I know I shouldn't do that, right? My wife warned me. She said, "Don't ever sing on your YouTube channel." She says, "I know you think you can sing, but." I thought that was kind of mean, but she says she's got my best interest in mind. Could be. She says, you ain't no jelly roll. All right, there's a little biface. We struggled with that one though, didn't we? There's another piece of Burlington. So, a little bigger piece here. How do we want to attack this? Probably come off this down this way. It's got a lot of junk in it. Yeah, it's got this limestoney stuff right there. That's what stopped that flake earlier. Limestoney. Doesn't matter what material it is, there's going to be things you got to work around. You should know that when you're buying a box of rock. I know that. They don't all come with perfect pieces, because they're not perfect out in the wild where you're picking it up. So I'm just glad there's someone out there picking it up. Look at that, man. That's some glassy stuff right there. There's a nice arrowhead in there if I can get it out of it. There we go. I usually don't like to get on here and film when I'm not in a talking mood. But, you know, I had people say that I don't care if you're talking and all. If there's any noise, I just want to watch a nap. So, I guess these videos are for you guys that watch with the volume off. Tough stuff, limestoney stuff right here. in this whole portion right here. So at this point, I don't know if I'm ever going to get my internet fixed or not. It just seems to be. That's good enough. It's nice biface, beautiful material. Good. That's more Burlington, but it's a really chunky piece. So is this one. Really, really chunky. But this is some high grade material right here though. I mean, it's high grade material. Make an arrowhead out of that for sure. Not that one though. That would be good tumbling material though. It's pretty when it's tumbled. It's got a layer right there. There's some more overhead pieces down here too. Small ones, but they're there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get underneath that crack. Maybe. Good grief. I probably should have maybe gone about this a little bit different. I'm not sure. It was really blocky and that one didn't unfold the way that I thought that it might. run those thinning flakes from the base. All right, there's another biface. Here is a big old piece of coral. And doggone it. I guess that was probably going to just happen. I don't know. I want to biface out of this, but I'd also like to get get some flakes off of it if possible. So far my flakes just broke up. I have not worked a lot of coral, very little. Well, it shouldn't be that much different than any other easy to flake material though. I really thought they would wrap around there and give me a flake, but they did not. That. Right. There, we finally got a flake, at least, that held together. There's another good arrowhead flake. It does have some seams in it, so there's a good flake, and it's got some blue in it. Be nice if that stayed. Yeah, it's got a seam on that blue stuff right there. I don't know what's going to happen with this. If it won't hold together on the color change, then yeah. And it's got this through it. Unfortunately, that limestone, he runs all the way through it. Whole thing's going to come apart on that. That is unfortunate. That rock ain't cheap either, and that piece turned out to be less than Ow! I think I'm going to put my glove back on. That hurt. Doggone it, that is a bummer that's coming apart right there. I'm not sure how to... It's coming completely apart on that color. That is a shame. Yep, just so full of crap there that... Yeah, if it would hold together, if that was pretty easy napping stuff, if it's doesn't have all those layers in it. Looking forward to that turning into a nice big biface, and that didn't happen. better material was down here, so I tried to take it towards that side. And there's another biface. There's another piece of coral. Man, look at the color in that. This one has those layers in it also, and also has a blue. See two different materials come together here. This is a layer that was laying over the top, and I'm not sure exactly how to address that. See, it goes all the way up the center. That's bad news for this piece. Most likely that will split right there. That's what I'm guessing. Doggone it. Yep. That goes all the way into there. Yeah, layers. Don't know if I can get underneath that or not. I don't think this piece is going to work out at all. That crack is just too deep, and Plus, that's where my blue is, and I've got to nap it away because there's big old nasty seam in it. I bet I could break that. It's starting to heal now that I don't have any rock left. The other bits and pieces of this coral that I napped, it didn't have all these layers in it. I get one arrowhead, well, I got some other arrowhead pieces here that don't have seams in them, which would be great. But I was looking for a big biface again, and so full of seams and bad material that I just couldn't do it. Like I said, on occasion you're going to get pieces like that. Not intentional, just sometimes rock dealers can't see what's inside the stone. That still may break. It looks like it's healing there, but it still may be a problem. How about this little piece? In there hitting that cortex, and that's the end of it. That layer right here, hopefully that's not going all the way through the stone. Come on now. Okay, that's a pretty little biface. And we're going to call it good there. We're going to do one more. We'll do, this is a piece of hornstone, looks like. It's already in a biface. I believe that when I bought this hornstone, it came like this. I'm not sure. Can't remember for sure. If it's the really good, and which it feels like it is, then I can't remember the, sorry, I can't remember the fellow's name that I got it from, but and I don't know if he has it all the time, but I've gotten really good hornstone a couple of times from the fellow this came from, and I can't remember. Well, actually, I can believe it because I can't remember anyone's name. If I meet you and I can't remember your name, it is nothing personal. It's not that I don't care enough to try and remember. I just have a hard time with names. Which makes it even harder because a lot of the guys are on YouTube and they got a YouTube name. They go, yeah, I'm 73296. All right, we probably had a bunch of interactions or something, but you do have to understand that, you know, I got the leather shop and I've got things going on with people all day long. I got so many messages coming in, and that's probably going to be a, this is definitely from the one fella, because that is sweet, sweet hornstone right there. Anyways, we're going to call it good at that. I'm not sure how many bifaces I did. It's not a lot. And we've been bifacing for an hour and 10 minutes. We definitely had some challenges with some of the material. And we'll definitely have some challenges with that same material when it comes to making points. Some of it. But what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Got 12 bifaces there. It took just over an hour to do 12. If I could get a point out of that, it'd be beautiful. But that is ugly material. This right here, and this is all from the same guy. This is actually really nice too. Now we got that top off. I can't remember his name. Doggone it! I'm just drawing a blank today. But this is pretty nice stuff. I'm trying to zoom out here a little bit. But that thing's so far behind, I don't even know what's happening with it. Right now I'm looking at the monitor, I'm looking at this piece I was looking at a little bit ago, so yeah. Can't really change it much, so we're gonna leave it at that. I appreciate y'all watching if you stuck through. Sorry I wasn't talking too much, but just, I don't know, one of those days I guess. But I got a ton more bifacing to do, and there's gonna be some more bifacing videos, and you guys are probably gonna be sick and tired of it. But I've got to get through I've got to get through all this stuff because I've got, well, I started with a 5-gallon bucket there, and I still got half of it, or better than half of it left, a lot better. I barely even touched it. I'm going to keep working my way through this stuff and make some points too. And that right there, man, that stuff right there just looks old from the get-go. But it's so heavy compared to other stones. I mean, these are probably equal in weight. You can see how much smaller that is. It's very heavy. A lot of times when you fill up a bucket, you know, about to the top, they're always about 50 pounds, maybe 55, depending on how you filled up. No matter, just about no matter what kind of stone you put in there for napping. But boy, I'll tell you what, I bet a 5-gallon bucket of this Rainey Buttes, I bet would probably weigh, good grief, it would probably weigh 75 pounds, probably 25% heavier maybe. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Keep napping. I guess I gotta try and do it up here. I can't sign off. Hold on.